Hi everyone, I hope you're all home safe and well, and I wanted you to know that we're still open for business but online, and we decided that to help us get out of boredom and to help you get out of boredom, that we would try to submit some short videos on interesting subjects. So I hope you find these interesting. And this particular episode, you know, in looking at designers and design houses over the years, many designers, when they pass, have to hand over their DNA to another designer or creative director. I mean, you think about Sarah Burton at Alexander McQueen, and I mean many, Balmain, Balenciaga, all of them. Gucci, Tom Ford was there. And one of the ones that people recognize the most, name-wise, is Christian Dior. When he passed away, Yves Saint Laurent took over for 2 years. And after Yves Saint Laurent was Marc Bohan, and then there was a whole slew, Gianfranco Ferré, John Galliano. But what I find really interesting is there's certain designers that fall under the radar. And so we decided to pull out 2 of our Sleeping Beauties that were designed by Marc Bohan for Christian Dior. Both of them are from the 1960s, and I have my cheat sheet here because I want to make sure I cover most of the important facts. Bohan was a Parisian, and he trained at several of the couture houses and design houses in France. But in 1957, he met with Christian Dior, and that was the year Dior passed away. And he was offered a job as artistic director of the American subsidiary of Dior. And he went on to design, you'll see labels that say Christian Dior London. Marc Bohan designed for that in 1958. And he was named artistic director in 1960, right after YSL left. So his tenure at Dior was quite long. It was from Dior London was from 58 to 60, and then Dior was from 1960 to 1989. So he was at the house for over 30 years, but yet his name is not one that people are familiar with. So this first, I'm going to do chronologically. This beautiful gown, striped gown, is made out of it's like a silk gazar. It is from Bohan's first collection, which is spring-summer of 1961. Because even though he took over in September of 1960, he needed a little time to get the first collection done. It's a beautiful haute couture gown. It has all the underpinnings. It's in really beautiful condition, and it's wearable. But I'm hoping a museum acquires it because it is from his first collection. And then this wonderful hat is also during Bohan's tenure. The label says Christian Dior Chapeau. It's from Columbus, Ohio, and it is it's a hat that's meant to be worn similar to a cloche, but a little higher, with these beautiful ombre velvet bows underneath tulle. I would guess that this is probably early 1960s as well. And then this confection is a silk chiffon, very faded pastel colors. It's from the spring-summer 1965. It looks like it's a blouse and a skirt, but it's actually a dress with a cummerbund. And if you look at it closely, this one unfortunately has been altered. Somebody whacked the hem, and they did not do a very good job. I haven't done the restoration, but what I love about this piece is it's typical Marc Bohan. He liked to do things that were less constrained, that were friendly to women to wear comfortably. Whereas Dior did a lot of extravagant, like Lesage embroidery and things like that. Bohan really focused on simplicity and elegance. And he really appealed to women of a certain stature because he was known for comfort and elegance. Designers are oftentimes asked what their inspiration is, and typically they have titles for their collections. And in 1968, he did a preview titled Bacall and the Boys, Paris. And apparently there were other designers included, but Lauren Bacall purchased those pieces and actually donated them to FIT. So they're in the FIT archives, and you can probably Google that and see that online. Other famous collections that Bohan did at Dior, fall of 1966, he did an homage to Dr. Zhivago, where he did tweed jackets trimmed in fur and black thigh-high leather boots. And in 1984, he did an abstract expressionism with a series of dresses based on Jackson Pollock drip technique. And interesting how his inspiration was Jackson Pollock, and then in 2012, when Ralph Simmons took over Dior, his first couture collection mirrored that to some degree because he used sterling ruby prints in that collection. Lastly, I'll say that the new creative director at Dior, well, not so new anymore, but Chiori was quoted during her last collection, fall of 2020, that she relates to Marc Bohan the most because he was at Dior in the 1970s, and also he moved from really structured garments to ensemble suits and cutting pieces so that they were more free to move. We are going to make every effort to continue making these episodes. They may be in shorter form for the moment because of things that are going on in the outside world, but I want to thank all of you that have subscribed. We actually hit 30,000 last weekend, which is a huge deal organically. And we hope that those of you that have just discovered us will subscribe so that we can continue the flow. So more to come. Before you go away, we do have a quasi show off, and that is this beautiful silk chiffon cocktail dress, day into evening dress, which is very reminiscent of Marc Bohan, but is a lot more affordable. It will be on our website if you're interested. It is very fitted, so it shows off a woman's figure, and it has these wonderful kind of butterfly cape sleeve, so it moves when you move. And the print is wonderful, the colors are great, and just in time for spring. So that is it. So goodbye for now.